Hi, I'm Abby, and I hate my parents. Mom and Dad were real estate agents. At least that's what they told people. Dad fixed old, awful houses for cheap and sold them to rich businessmen for twice their price. And Mom would dress up like Madonna and show these houses to attract the right customers. Thanks to my parents' profession, we could never stay in one place for more than a year and could never make any friends. But I didn't mind. I always had dancing to keep me company. I was 5 when I participated in a dance play at school, and since then, I only got better. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, practiced daily, and by 17, I got pretty good. And after graduating high school, I applied to a bunch of good dance programs to learn it professionally. I wanted to tell my parents about it, but they were really busy with a new deal for months. Some rich investor, Mr. Jerky, was interested in buying one of their biggest properties and had even invited us to stay the summer at his fancy beachside resort and discuss the deal in private. The resort was heaven, but Mr. Jerky had a son, Kirby, who was a total nuisance. He was rude, walked around the place like he was God's gift to women, and for some reason, he had his eyes set on me.
Hey, beautiful. I'm here to make your dreams come true.
Trust me, if my dreams were anywhere near to coming true, you wouldn't be standing here, Kirby.
I love it when you're feisty. Anyway, let's just ditch these games and go on our first date. You know you want to.
The only thing I want is to punch your face. I tried to put Kirby in his place, but he was like this pimple that won't go away. He'd follow me to the pool, the gym, and worse, Kirby was really spoiled and threw tantrums over the smallest things. This one time, our families were having lunch together, and Kirby kept complaining about everything.
This soup tastes like glue. The lemonade is disgusting. And why is it so hot out here?
Oh, because, you know, the sun? Kirby then proceeded to have an epic meltdown. He crossed his arms, pouted like a 5-year-old, started screaming like a maniac, and tossed his plate across the room. I got disgusted and left for my room to get some peace and quiet, which didn't last long because minutes later, my parents barged in. It was so rude of you to walk out of lunch like that. Did you see what Kirby was doing? He's just trying to get your attention, Abby. You should think about giving him a chance. Don't make me throw up, Mom. And why are you suddenly so interested in my life anyways? Ever since you went behind my back to apply to a dance school? Yeah, I got a phone call this morning from the New York University saying that you've been accepted into their program. And you're telling me this now? Look, that college is really expensive, and we don't have that kind of money to get you in. I mean, we did, but then your dad thought buying ice sculptures on the internet was a great idea and lost all the savings. Fun fact, ice melts.
I thought we were over that.
You wish, honey. Anyway, we need Kirby's dad to invest in our property, but he won't part with his money for just anybody. If you date his son, he'll trust us more, buy the property, and then we'll have enough to fund your stupid dance college. I'm good enough to get through on scholarship. Do you really want to take that chance? There's always a better dancer out there. But if you say yes, you can definitely go to college. Think about it. And I did think about it. This could be my one chance to get away from my parents and their con business and build a life of my own. But the thought of dating Kirby was nauseating. So I went to the beach for a long walk to clear my head when suddenly I felt a sharp pain in my foot. I yelled loudly as I fell, and seconds later, this guy came running toward me.
Are you okay?
If by okay you mean dying with pain, then yeah, perfecto.
Okay, don't move. It's just a jellyfish sting.
The guy left and came back with some kind of lotion. As he gently applied it on my foot, I noticed that he was cute.
Do you always stare like that, or am I someone special?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking if you're new, because I haven't seen you around here before.
Is that the best pickup line you could come up with? For someone as pretty as you, I was thinking you'd be good at flirting.
And now who's flirting?
I'm just trying to distract you from the pain. Look, all better.
The guy winked at me, and my heart skipped a beat. He then told me his name was Jacob, and he was the new lifeguard, and he offered to walk me back to my room. We got talking, and he told me he was new to the place and was working there part-time to support his mom and sisters back home. I wanted to know more about him, but we'd reached my room, and he left. And the next day was my first official date with Kirby. An epic disaster. He took me out on a speedboat, but halfway into the ride, we ran out of gas. I was calm, but Kirby was losing his mind.
I blame you. You should have put gas in the tank.
It's not my boat.
Yeah, but you're on it. This relationship won't work if you don't do your part.
What a jerk! I didn't think Kirby would meet me after that horrible date, but the next day, he dragged me to the beach. It's really hot today. You should wear some sunscreen.
I don't need sunscreen. I'm a man. Now sit back and watch me get my perfect tan.
10 minutes later, Kirby was red as a tomato and ran screaming back to his room, while I laughed like a hyena and went back to my suite. I was in the hallway when I saw Jacob coming out of my parents' room. Jacob, what are you doing here?
I was filling in for a plumber. We got a complaint that the pipes were leaking, but our in-house plumber had to leave urgently because his grandmother fell off the cliff. I mean, broke her hip. Okay, sorry. That was clearly a lie. I'm actually here to see you. Wondering if we could have lunch together?
You could have just said that in the first place.
I got nervous. So, can we?
I don't see why not. Jacob and I ended up having a great time. And after that, we started meeting every evening at the beach after Jacob's shift. I told him everything about my controlling parents and my dream to become a dancer. I even showed him some videos, and he looked starstruck.
You're amazing, Abby. With talent like this, you can really go places. There's just one thing I don't understand. Why are you dating Kirby? He's not your type.
My parents and the Jerkies are business partners, and they nudged us in this direction.
So you're dating Kirby because your parents asked you to?
Kind of. I mean, my parents have this business deal with the Jerkies.
If they invited you to stay at this place for free, I'm guessing it must be something big.
I have no idea, and I don't even care. I just want them to sign this deal so they have enough money to support my college, and I can get away from my parents as far as possible.
You don't get along with them? I hope it doesn't sound like I'm prying. I just find you very interesting and want to get to know you better.
Jacob tucked a strand of hair behind my ears, and my stomach flipped. I thought he was about to kiss me, when suddenly a shoe came flying and hit Jacob smack on his face. I turned around to see Kirby fuming.
So this is where you've been spending your time? With this street rat?
His name is Jacob, and you can't talk to him like that.
I can talk however I want. Don't you know by now? I'm the king of the world. Actually, the universe. The whole galaxy. Okay, I think I choked a little. Now come on.
Kirby tried to grab my arm, but Jacob jumped between us.
Leave her alone.
Get out of my face, cabana boy.
Why don't you make me?
Kirby got mad, tried to shove Jacob, but slipped and fell on his face. And then he got up and ran back to the resort screaming. Jacob and I followed and found Kirby in the lobby crying to his dad about how Jacob had tried to kill him. Mr. Jerky called the police and got Jacob arrested for assaulting his son. He wouldn't even listen to a word I was saying. I ran off to my parents and tried talking to them, but they were useless. Why are you mingling with some loser anyway when you're dating Kirby? Kirby's a stupid jerk, Mom. The only reason I tolerated him was because you blackmailed me into it. Whatever, Abby. The deal is almost signed, so just pull yourself together and get ready. We have dinner with the Jerkies. I had no plans of going to that stupid dinner and seeing Kirby again, so I decided to sneak out later and go to the police station to see Jacob. But when I got there, the police told me that no one by that name was arrested. I even showed them Jacob's picture, but no one seemed to recognize him. I was super confused and was about to leave when I heard a familiar voice. I looked around and saw Jacob standing in the corner talking to some guy in a suit. I hid behind the pillar to hear what he was saying.
I can't believe you sabotaged the whole mission because of a girl. You're one of our best agents, and we can't have you lose focus like that.
I'm sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
No, it won't, because we're taking you off this mission.
But sir, I've been working on this for a whole year, and we're really close to wrapping it up. I promise you, Abby means nothing to me. I just wanted to get close to her to find more details on the deal. Please, you can't take me off this mission.
I can, and I will. Don't forget, you're talking to the head of the CIA.
The man in the suit left, and I was so shocked that I lost my balance and ended up knocking into a table close by. Jacob saw me and rushed over.
How much did you hear?
Enough to tell me that you're a big fat liar. I mean nothing to you, huh?
It's not what you think.
Really? Then tell me the truth. Jacob sighed and confessed that he was an undercover CIA agent who was on a mission to arrest Mr. Jerky and my parents. Apparently, Mr. Jerky was a big smuggler, and his new deal with my parents involved building a storage shed for illegally smuggled goods.
We don't know what this property is or where it's located. All we know is that we need to find these illegal goods before Jerky sells them, and you have to help me.
So you lied to my face, used me to get to my parents, and now you want my help to throw my parents into jail?
I know how this sounds, but if you help me, I promise I'll talk to the authorities to reduce your parents' sentence.
Wow, Wow, thank you. How will I ever repay your kindness? I am not helping you do anything. I know that my parents aren't the most honest people, but I will not throw them under the bus just because you're saying that.
So you'd rather defend criminals, people who lied to you all your life?
And you think you were honest? You know what, Jacob? You're worse than Kirby. He might be a moron, but at least he didn't lie to me about who he was. Before Jacob could say more, I just turned around and left. But even though I'd given Jacob a piece of my mind, I couldn't shake off the feeling that he might be right. It's not like I didn't know my parents were greedy crooks. So the next day, when my parents left their suite to meet Mr. Jerky, I went in and searched for any kind of evidence, but it was useless. The only other place I could think of was Mr. Jerky's private office at the resort, but it was always locked, and I had no clue where to find the key. So I decided to sneak in through the window. I was just about to start searching the office when suddenly I heard footsteps. I quickly hid behind the curtain, and seconds later, the door flung open and my parents walked in with Mr. Jerky.
I would have never worked with you if I'd known you were such imbeciles. You have 2 days to get the shed ready, or I will cancel the deal.
You know how tough it's been for us to secure that house and build that shed for your illegal goods. We've spent all our money on it. If you pull out now, we'll lose everything. And don't think we won't go to the media then.
Ratting me out will get us both in jail.
The authorities always want to catch the big fish like you. We're just low-life criminals who can always sneak off and start fresh somewhere else. Now, if you're done with your empty threats, here is the final blueprint of all the designs and the location details. Mom handed a pen drive to Mr. Jerky while I quickly took out my phone to record everything, but I forgot the flash was on and it shone right on my mother's face. She walked over and threw the curtains open. Abby, what are you doing? What are you doing, Mom? I knew you were liars, but this is a huge crime. Have you thought about what would happen to me if you got caught? No, because we won't get caught. Now give me that phone. Mom tried to snatch it, but I ducked and ran for my life. I was near the door when Mr. Jerky's bodyguards got in my way. They lunged at me, but I was quick and managed to slip through. I picked up a paperweight and flung it at one of the guards, and it hit him right on his face.
Bingo! So dancer reflexes are a real thing, huh?
Jacob, what?
No time to talk.
Jacob burst into some martial arts moves, kicking bodyguards left, right, and center. And seconds later, a whole SWAT team crashed in through the door. They immediately surrounded the area and arrested all the bodyguards and Mr. Jerky. Just as they were about to slap handcuffs on my parents, Mom turned to me with tears in her eyes. Abby, darling, I know your dad and I have hurt you, but we did everything for you. We wanted you to have a better life and go to the college you wanted. Please, tell them that we're innocent. No, Mom, I'm not going to be a party to your crimes. And honestly, you guys had this coming for a long time. Oh, please, don't act so innocent. You wanted this money just as much as we did. Yes, to get away from you and build an honest life of my own. Which I will, because someone told me that if I have the talent, nothing can bring me down. I looked at Jacob and he smiled back at me. My parents and Mr. Jerky ended up in jail, while Kirby and his mom left town, and I have no idea what happened to them. As for me, I'm still trying to get into a college of my choice, and this time I have someone who believes in my talent.